Welcome. Welcome to our permanent new home here in the green heart of England land. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I just say, it's not so much green as inconvenient.
Why is it inconvenient?
Well, Jeremy, how would you like to tell the ladies and gentlemen why you decided to put our tent precisely here?
It is exactly here because this spot is exactly halfway between May's house and Hammond's house. So there is no squabbling over who had the longest commute.
Yes, but your house is just over there. I could see it. Just there.
I haven't got a house. You may remember you blew it up.
Oh, all right, your backup house.
Yeah, your spare house is just there.
Let's not get bogged down with whose house is the nearest.
It's yours. Definitely yours. Is that your cat?
The point is...
Oh, hang on, Jezza, you've got a parcel. Now, to do this, we are going to use the Lamborghini Aventador S, which has a petrol engine and is therefore from the pages of ancient history. And that will be driven by our resident Neanderthal. Representing the present day, we have the Honda NSX, which is a modern hybrid, and that, obviously, will be driven by somebody crisp and contemporary. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I shall be driving something from the future, an all-electric supercar from Croatia.
I don't know how that ends.
Yeah. Yeah. And while we're on...
Hammond, what is a wellness retreat?
One of these.
More specifically, hang on, it said Swiss Natural Detox.
Yes.
What is that?
It's handy for where we need to be.
Can we get a drink here?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes?
Do you realise that could result in your death?
Could.
Yes.
Sorry, Will, what are you thinking of? Why?
Well, it's convenient, it's near many things
Well,
I
it's
want
the
to be
only
near.
hotel.
Do they do colonic here?
Yes?
Would you like to know what colonic feels like?
The new electric version.
Do they
It's very
really do
modern.
colonic here?
You might feel better for it.
I won't feel better
You'll
for
thank
it.
me for it in a bit.
Would you like a glass of water, James, and some kale?
Oh, yes, that's what I always have for supper.
Over dinner that night, the mood was dark. I know people who eat this stuff. Do you know what they're called? Women. With the world's most incompetent TV host, James May, who filmed the entire series, and as you saw in that sting, the sting itself, and in the montage, and in Switzerland, looking, well, with long hair, looking like a roadie for Steppenwolf. And then he turned up this morning looking like a geography teacher. James, have you ever heard of the concept of continuity?
No, he had to do it. He had to make a change because he had his identity stolen.
I did, actually. That is absolutely true. I did have my identity stolen. Somebody got hold of, personal details, address and date of birth, and they've opened, 8 bank accounts with overdrafts and loans and all that stuff that I'd be liable for.
Yes, but what fascinates me about this is they had a choice. They could have been David Beckham or Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you can look around the world. Anybody, I want to be Barack Obama. Cool, powerful. No, wait a minute. I want to live in Hammersmith and have a folding bicycle so that one day I can walk out of my house and say, look at me, behold, I have become James May. And now I will organise your paper clips if you've got a pie.
But the good thing is, James, is we can guarantee this will never happen to you again.
Can you?
Yes, because we have come up with a new name for you.
Yeah. You are now Dingleberry Hand Pump. That is your name, your new identity.
Nobody's going to steal that because nobody's going to go into a mobile phone shop and say, I'd like to set up an account, please. My name is Dingleberry Hand Pump.
Yes.
You're completely safe. It's just that that's now your name. OK, Hand Pump, why don't you tell the ladies and gentlemen why you were in hospital?
No, I don't like to make a fuss. Let's talk about cars. It's nothing to do with my anus. Let's just clear that up in case that stays in. Oh.
Hammond! Where are you? I'm going to kill you!
Or do you have a bread roll?
I'm starving. I need to eat. I'm so hungry. Yes. Danke, 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 danke. Oh.
What are these?
It's bloody Ryvita. Hammond, what are we doing tomorrow?
Going to a pencil museum.
Is the Pencil Museum in the same town as this museum?
Yes.
Do you keep bringing us to this town because it's the only one within 100 miles of our wellness centre where there is a fast charging point for your car?
Yes.
Ow! Jesus!
Well, we could always go to a museum.
We need to go to a racetrack, Hammond. Look, actually, as we're in Switzerland, Clarkson,
What?
can you do hill climbs in Switzerland under their laws?
I don't know, I've got a tube up my arse.
But seriously, you've been here before. You're supposedly the motorsport expert, you always say.
I don't know, I've got a tube up my arse.
No, but the thing that they banned was that because in the famous Le Mans crash, cars crashed into each other into the ground, but that can't happen in a hill climb. So would they allow stuff against the clock?
I don't know, because I've got a tube up my arse.
Come on, think, Clarkson.
I think you can do hill climbing in Switzerland, but I don't know for sure because I've got a tube up my arse.
Right. Okay, but that's a start. Let's see if we can find out. Out! Ah!
Lamborghini's got one of their test drivers here. He's about this big. What's your name?
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Giacomo is the Italian name.
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Giacomo. Whatever. Don't worry, you look exactly like me. I'll tilt that camera down, it'll make you look taller. Be fine with a crash helmet on.
Yep.
Curly hair, same as me. But you've got to sound like me.
All right.
So, Hammond, you idiot. Say that. Hammond, you idiot.
Hammond, you idiot.
You idiot.
You idiot.
Exactly, because he always is an idiot, so you can always drop that in. It's a useful phrase.
Hammond,
The other one is, this is the fastest car, pause, in the world.
This is fastest car, pause, in the world.
Say it.
This is the fastest car, pause, in the world.
Well, you were driving your car and you crashed it.
Yes, but I crashed after the finishing line, like a professional.
Hammond, when was the last time you went home after work not in an air ambulance?
When was the last time you took your own clothes off at night rather than have a paramedic cut them off in a field?
Now, hang on a minute.
You crashed after the finishing line, so our cameras weren't there. We had to get that clip from YouTube. That is not professional. That is selfish.
But the winner of the Hard Ass to Follow Nigel is... Ooh. It's the Land Rover Discovery. Look at that.
I think the problem is the designer, Jerry McGovern. OK, we've got a picture of him here. And this is his dog. And this is where he lives.
All makes sense.
So it's only natural his car should look like that. It's just all hutched up.
Fire service is now available in your area.
Back in town, Fireman May still hadn't found anything to put out.
Kiosk not on fire. Ice cream shop not on fire. People with shopping not on fire. Are you having a fire? Your last chance to summon the local fire brigade if your mobile phone is ablaze.
James eventually realised that in an unscripted world, he wasn't going to find a fire. So he deployed his acting.
Wait, smoke. It looks as if somebody's bin's caught fire. Not to worry, I can deal with that.
Meanwhile, after his success with the staged bin fire, James was now getting carried away.
Ah, looks like a job for me. My pleasure.
Yes.
That is speeding things up, isn't it?
Isn't it? There you go.
What it's doing is catching on. The wind moves it along and it gets bigger. It's quite good.
Brilliant.
What, another bit there, look.
Then we told James to come and do his stuff.
Relax, I am coming to put out the fire.
However, because of his leisurely pace, the fire had grown a bit by the time he got there.
Jeez.
Pressure. It's too big! I've run out of water! This isn't going to work.
I think what we've established here is that he's only capable of putting out fires that he's started himself.
Yeah, that are nearby
Yeah.
and contained.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything left.
Luckily, at this point, the real fire brigade arrived.
Thank you.
We've all been watching Sir Attenborough's fish programme, haven't we? Yeah? Yeah, the Blue Planet. Unbelievable, OK? Now, the thing is, every single week, you see, OK, manfish comes along, there's ladyfish there. Manfish can make his face swell up. It's huge, like a satellite dish. And ladyfish like, I'm not bothered, I'm not bothered. But she is. She is. And then she's going, I like his huge face. And then they do sex, or whatever it is fish do, and then they have babies. Now, that massive face that a fish can do, that's basically the same as the handbrake turn. All those birds that dance about, we've got the handbrake, birds can dance about.
All part of nature's dance of love.
Exactly.
But the problem has been, of course, most modern cars now have electronic handbrakes.
Yeah.
You can't do a handbrake turn with one of those. It's...
Oh, that's why Tinder's become so big.
Yeah.
That's
you have to swipe right because you can't slide left anymore. That's what's going on.
Well, so that's been the problem. With electronic handbrakes, we can't conduct this mating ritual. Ford have noticed this, given it some thought, and they've come up with this. It's an aftermarket part that you fit to your car. They call it the drift stick.
Ooh, they ought to call it the love handle.
Yeah. So the point is, what it does, it overrides the ABS, and you can actually perform proper handbrake turns in that.
Girls are going to say, if you pull that, that was ridiculous and you frightened me. What they actually mean is, I'm hot.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, admit it. You're impressed by a handbrake turn, aren't you?
Just thought of it. If you say
Yeah, you-
no, that's just part of it.
You've never been in a car with someone who's by handbrake turn?
Oh, hello.
Are you together?
What are you doing, man? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How did you...
You drove here today? Huge fields everywhere, and you didn't think, oh, just give it some of that. What?
Press the heck out of it.
On the way out, just mind the sheep. Right, listen. Bentley has announced a new version of the big 4x4, the Bentayga, OK?
Yeah.
Which they say is for shooting enthusiasts. We've got a picture here, look, it's got this kind of chest in the back, which has, you know, space for your guns and refreshments and so on. However, I know that whoever designed that has never been shooting in their lives.
How do you know?
Well, because if we examine the refreshments that have been photographed here, you will find that they have fitted it with rose lemonade and elderflower juice. Now, I'm sorry to have to say this, but has anyone here been shooting ever? Yeah, you have. As you will know, a shooting day is an armed drinks party. There's no place for shit like that.
You turn up with elderflower juice at a shoot, and the host will shoot you. What?
What? Middle Eastern
Oh,
market?
she might have a point with that.
Could be.
Oh, don't come here with
dumbfounded
your
us.
bloody sensible, rational views.
No, actually, it's funny you should mention the Middle Eastern market, because they've also done one for fly fishing, which happens in the Yemen.
Yeah.
And it gets better. And falconry. And falconry's really big in the Middle East.
What about dogging?
What about dogging?
Oh, why don't they do one for dogging? It's a countryside pursuit, and more people do that than do falconry, don't they?
Well, you're probably right. But
Well, they should.
Well, what would you have in a dogging bed take?
That's good work. It's very neat. It's neatly done.
It is neatly done. Now, Vice Admiral Mike Shoemaker, obviously from the US Navy, is not happy about this. He says, immature acts of a sexual nature have no place in naval aviation. Well, I'm sorry, but the plane they were flying when they did that is called the F-18 Growler. If the US Navy is going to call its plane a Growler, they can't really complain when the pilots go and make pictures like that in the sky, can they?
No, and to be clear, if you're American and you don't know why we're laughing, it's the same as US troops in Iraq laughed when British soldiers were being transported around in what we call a snatch Land Rover. It's the same
Hey,
joke.
you're in a snatch! Yeah, and you're flying around in a Growler, so shut up.
Anyway, if those 2 US aircrew do get fired and are bored, you are more than welcome to come on this show anytime. We'd love to see you.
Yes, you are. We like immature acts of a sexual nature.
We do,
Is that right? Yes.
This is the key to your success.
Sorry, think of it as a business opportunity. Car-to-car window replacement.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, we are pumping gas. Oh, yeah.
It works!
Oh, shit.
What's happened?
Hammond, right, you're on fire! Bail out!
Oh, no. James, you bloody idiot!
OK, Hammond, pull up for acrobat number 2, please. Righto.
Oh.
We're going to do this by seeing which one of us can get the most amount of dogs in the boot of our car. Hammond, you idiot.
What?
What are they?
If you say dog in Canada, these are what you get. Newfoundlands.
Hammond, they're enormous.
They're not dogs, they're cattle.
Yeah.
They're having sex
There's
behind
dog
you.
sex. There's actual dog sex going on. Dog sex.
Maybe we should
We
look away
don't need
from
to
that.
see this. In a brief break from the mating, we got on with the test. Up we go. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Up in the car. Well, it's a new Range Rover. Come on, dog.
Right. There's...
No. No.
Up we go. In we go.
The dog has never been in a car and doesn't want to go in one.
Right. Sit. Getting another dog.
Dog beer.
Ow. Yes. Stay.
The Alfa Romeo, not only the sportiest vehicle, but as you can see, perfectly capable of handling a brace of dogs. Oh. Yeah, the problem is, you know electric tailgates?
If they sense anything, they'll open.
Yes, that's what's... So you can't actually close.
It's not going to stay in, is it? Oh! Biggest dog here is in.
Yes, but you try closing... OK, then close your boot lid. Go on, then. You see, it won't close because it's electric. What we've established, then, so far, is that these cars are nowhere near as fast as an ordinary car around a racetrack, that you cannot put a medium-sized dog in them because of the electric tailgate, and you'll damage them because they've all got painted rear ends and carpeted boot floors.
And that concludes another important test. I'm sorry.
The nonsense, you just put the indicator on, and if it's safe to pull out, it does. Put the indicator on to pull back into the central lane, and... That's just astonishing. All of this means that I can drive along writing important messages on my sketch pad, because I know that if the car in front slows down, I'll slow down. If it speeds up, I'll speed up. If the traffic stops, I'll stop.
I think the battery is a good analogy for libel law and reviews generally, in that you have to it has to be balanced. You must have the positive and you must have the negative. Should we bear that in mind?
No, what we should bear in mind is that, what I've just written on the screen. I'm 57. No, no, no! Listen, you've come second. You're taking it badly, I think. It doesn't matter, because an even more interesting race is developing out on the water as we speak.
Handling is affected by water ingress. It's getting closer to my kneecaps. Ah, Canadian flag, come on!
Will he make it to the finish point before he sinks?
That's got some tension in it, hasn't
I
it?
know. There's no tension here. This is done.
Oh, yeah, this is
But we'll give you more.
You two! Help! Come and rescue! I'm going down!
My boat's smashed to pieces, James. I can't help you with that.
My boat's... Look, it'll take me ages. It's all the way over there.
It's going down!
I'd have to move mine out of the way.
Yeah. And then I'd have to walk up there,
Yeah.
along those rocks.
It's gone!
Oh, Jesus! Ah! It's so cold! Look, he's going...
Ah! You bastard!
Have you ever seen...
Ah! My testicles have retreated!
We don't need to know that. Oh, no! Oh, that hurt me just watching.
Hey, I've got a runny
Yeah.
nose.
My bit's just shriveled.
Good morning. Thank you for calling JetBlue. How may I help you?
Oh, good morning. My name's Jeremy Clarkson. You have James May and Richard Hammond booked on this morning's flight from JFK to Buffalo.
Sure. Do you have their confirmation number and/or can you spell the last name for me?
I don't have the confirmation number. What I can tell you is that they've been accidentally booked by the office into business class. That's not company policy for us, so could you drop them back down to economy?
Sure. Let me take a look. Okay. I will make this update in the reservation and we will email you a confirmation. Is there anything else that we can help you with?
No, not for the moment, thanks. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm on form this morning. I've got to call May, see how they're doing.
Who would you like to call?
Vagina. I've had to change his name in my contacts. It's not normally Vagina. It's worse than that. As we are now in the steady cruise, I put it in comfort and I can relax. In fact, the office has provided me with an audio book which will help me do just that. Here we go.
I knew innately that loosening them meant turning them anti-clockwise, a tiny hairspring that contracted. And
Sadly, it turned out to be a James May talking book on how to mend things.
What I didn't appreciate at the age of 5 was the facility that the freshly wound mainspring had for completing the disassembly process for me, and as a quantum event at that. It was there, off came the back. Suspiciously easily, I would now realise. More screws lay within, and on I went, like one of Carter's archaeologists, unable to resist them.
How did he stay awake to read that out? He's reassembling an alarm clock and he's made an audio book of it. Oh, God.
Thank you for calling JetBlue. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm really sorry to trouble you again. It's Jeremy Clarkson here. I spoke earlier about downgrading Mr. May and Mr. Hammond to economy class.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if I could just tell you in confidence, they've both just come out of rehab. So on the flight, could you make sure the attendants don't give them any alcohol?
Oh, thank you for letting us know. I will go into the reservation and make a note of this and get this to our in-flight crew, but we will make sure to accommodate this special request.
Okay, thank you for your understanding. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling.
Calling Vagina.
Because you know that pink and purple striped rugby shirt thing that I've had for years?
Yeah.
That I always wear. You do?
Yes.
You know the one I mean,
It's a top.
don't you? Yes? Yes.
I know, yeah.
Blue and mauve
Top.
stripe. Yeah, it's a
Did
top.
you just say top?
Well, it's a top.
It's not a top.
It's not a shirt. It's not a T-shirt. It's a
Hammond,
top.
I'm sorry, I've never said this before in my entire life, and I promise I'll never say it again, but I'm with James May on this. A man cannot wear a top.
Ordinarily, no, but that is, technically, it's a hooped top.
Anyway, that's not the point. I was at an event once, and a man sidled up to me, and he took me to one side, and he was from Gant, the big American clothing company that made that thing originally, that shirt. And he begged me, he said, please stop wearing it, please. And then But it got better than that, because he says, if you stop wearing it, you can have as many free clothes as you like. But I still said no, because I'm an arse.
You got to go in that?
Yes, he is.
OK, see you on board.
Hello, thank you. Oh, God. I think we should celebrate our progress right now as we're moving so well. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can we have beer? 2 beers, please.
Let me see. So, as it turns out, unfortunately, I won't be able to serve you any beer today. Can I offer you a water, Coke, Sprite?
One more beer.
No, I'm sorry.
Wine? 2 glasses of wine. White wine.
I'm not quite too sure why, but unfortunately, I won't be able to. Can I get you some other beverages?
Shit. Where are you? I'm 130 miles from Buffalo.
He's 130 miles away. Well, you better get a move on then in your 200 and whatever it is mile-an-hour car.
Well, that is radical, isn't it? Yes, all have changed what?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. Anyway, on the inside, they say it has driver-orientated instruments.
What, as opposed to what?
Yeah, no idea. And they say the central command screen is retina quality.
I hope it's not my retina quality. It'll be sort of slightly blurry and a bit bloodshot round the edges. But actually, if you defocus my camera, you can see what it would look like if...
Actually, that's better.
Yeah. To be honest, I wish I had your retina sitting here looking at you. It's better.
I do. It's on the board, shall we? Let's have a look. Literally the slowest car in the world.
Yeah, but it was chucking it down. Come on.
So you're saying if it had been dry, it would have challenged the Aston Martin Vulcan, then?
Yes, it would. Shall we see what Mark looked like with the helmet on?
Yes.
Shall we?
Oh! It's uncanny. It really is. Look at that.
Is that the new Honda Civic Type R?
The new one, and it is hideous.
It is, honestly.
It's worse than the last one. It's awful.
I mean, the original 90s Civic Type R was brilliant, but that is disgusting. It's revolting, is what it is. Mind you, it's not as revolting as what's just got out of it.
Oh, God.
Why are you here? OK. Anyone from Doncaster? Are you actually from Doncaster? You'll like this. It's actually news from Doncaster, OK? The council has decided to risk it, OK? And they asked the people of Doncaster to vote on a name for it. There are 2 new sort of snowplough road gritter things, yes? OK? Would you like to hear some of the suggestions people have come up with?
Yes, please, Jeremy, we would.
Here we go. Grit Van Dyke. True Grit. Rule Britannia.
I like that.
Salt Disney.
Oh, let's see what they've done.
These are the names they've chosen, OK? One of them is going to be called Gritsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Anti-Slip Machine. The other one, though, is going to be called David Plowy.
That doesn't work.
Well, I think they were hoping we'd think it was David Plowy, but it isn't. It's David Plowy. It doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, as in snowplow. No.
Well, that would work in Birmingham, wouldn't it?
I'll get the snowplow out.
Snowplow out.
All right, we'll call it David Plowy, then. The marvellous thing is the council, OK, they said this vote cheered the whole of Britain up.
Well, it hasn't cheered me up.
No, it doesn't. And the man from the council said it's got people interested in gritting.
Well, it just hasn't.
No, it hasn't. We would be interested in gritting, though, if we'd thought of a name.
Yeah, well, we'd just call it Gary Gritter, wouldn't we? Let's be honest.
Or maybe Ice-ish. That could work.
Yeah. Gary Gritter or Ice-ish. Do we think those are better names? Oh, hang on. Adolf Gritler.
Perfect. Those are better names.
That's a good one.
We like that.
Where's my bloody car? Has anyone... Can anyone see an Aston Martin anywhere? Hello? Hammond? I found a car here. It's a Toyota. And they're dogging. They really are, actually. That's quite embarrassing. Yeah, they're driving away now because they realise. Hello, sorry, panel. I need to see here. Right, James, look out. There are cows followed by Hitler.
Oh, no, it's not Hitler, it's Winston Churchill. The cow has attacked the Aston Martin. Don't do that. Go and attack the Honda.
Follow.
Well, that's the wrong way. We're going to go the other way.
Oh, shit, I'm on the wrong side, aren't I, if I use that?
Turning. Oh, f***ing hell. As Hammond and I were struggling to get into a rhythm...
Oh, no, hang on.
No, you got it.
Oh, the oars come out. Oh.
And as it turned out, the Indian Ocean wasn't that deep. Where has all the sea gone? We decided to push the boat instead. Any minute now, we're going to start fishing.
Right, I think this might actually be working. If they can just get themselves back to here, we've got two ends of a net, pull it in, full of fish.
Ugh! Shit! I've caught myself in the net!
So, water is just
No,
water.
don't do.
Oh, God. What do you... I don't particularly want to see you, just to be absolutely clear.
Why?
Well, I got here at 4 a.m, wet, with consumption, smelling like a damp dog, tried to sleep in the car, and what did I hear?
No idea.
Snoring. Your car snoring. That bloody generator thing, it's like someone's snoring, but without the pauses in the breath.
The generator is necessary to keep my fish fresh. Where's your water gone?
On my head. Anyway, we've got to make more water. This is water. I was just about to explain that that is normal water, which we're all familiar with. You drink it. Seawater is salty. We all know that as well.
I know, I brought you some salt.
It's not that sort of salt. That doesn't work. No, it isn't. That's
It's salt.
table salt. Exactly. Sea salt has extra minerals in that doesn't. That's been refined. This is sea salt. So we have to work out, I'll show you, normal water, needle at the bottom. OK, we have to mix enough salt to put the needle on there, right at the top of the scale.
Yeah.
OK? And I know that's 25 litres.
Well, hold on, no. If you're doing 25 litres at a time...
I'm doing 25 litres to work out how much salt to put in.
We're going
Work
to be
out
here
the
all
proportion.
morning.
No, we're not.
We are, because you've got to fill your entire tank
So
up.
what do you think I should do?
Why are you so angry with me? I've come to help.
You haven't come to help.
I haven't,
could have
mate.
almost done it by now.
brought
You're
you-
just standing there being fatuous and bringing a thing of salt from a seaside cafe from the 1950s in Morecambe. Bugger off. Please.
Get on with it.
Go away. Right, so, we know
Oh,
that...
don't talk, just get on with it. Shit.
Oh, here we go again. Yep, nope, yep.
Do you know, James, it's actually possible to get bored with watching Hammond fall off a motorcycle.
Oh, bollocks.
This made James very unpleased.
You bastards! I hate you! Both of you! You utter bastards!
Listen, I am prepared to tow your boot full of water. That's important. I'm not going to tow a dead engine that's full of water as well. That's just a waste of fuel.
Rubbish, it wasn't dead. I could have mended that once we dragged it out. It's just ignition. I've done it 5 times already. You complete moron.
I hope you get Bill Hart's here of the ball sack.
Right, that's it. He's asked for it.
Funny, very funny.
Funny man.
I think you're following him too closely.
Why don't you sod off?
Has it affected the handling?
What was that? Hundreds and hundreds of delicious fishes. Diesel-infused kippers. James, however, was not so happy about the condition of his fish. And for some reason, he blamed me.
All that messing around and dragging around, you killed them. Those were all alive this morning. All of them are dead.
How do you know all of them are?
Because they're floating, that's what fish do. I've kept those alive for 3 days, you muppet. I mean, it doesn't matter because they're still fresh. Because you did this, you dragged it along, bouncing it around too much and not thinking about the fish, and you finished them off.
We start with James May, who has been driving a Kia hatchback.
So he gets to drive around the best bits of Europe in a Bugatti and you get a Kia.
You can shut up, Hammond. Because if you remember rightly, you were supposed to go and drive the Kia hatchback, but you couldn't because you can't drive round corners without crashing.
Yeah.
Were you his stand-in?
Yes.
Has he said thank you?
No, he hasn't, actually.
It's unbelievably selfish, Hammond. You should have done, really.
I'd broken my leg.
Well, don't go on about it. It's all we ever hear.
Backlights from various cars. Look, that's Christmas, isn't it? Oh.
I'd like to add my lights to the festive tree, which I've made out of indicators, so they're orange and they flash and they're warm. Are you ready?
Oh,
how about that, then? Yeah.
That's very...
Right.
No!
Why not?
Do not switch on whatever you've made.
Why?
Because you'll blind everybody in the tent.
Why do you always think I'll have overdone it?
Because you always overdo it.
Ready?
Oh, dear God.
Look at that. Why are you grimacing?
Don't encourage him.
What? It's brilliant. It's a bit bright, I admit,
It
but...
is bright. You've burnt people's eyes out.
Why is it a cross?
This is a baby Jesus.
It's the baby Jesus, not the dead Jesus.
What?
The cross is what he was crucified on. That's Easter.
Oh. So, what should it be at Christmas?
A star.
That's Jewish.
No.
It is. Jews don't do Christmas.
It's a different sort of star.
You've used the wrong religious symbol.
Yeah, I can see.
Well, how brilliant's that?
You've brought me a solution to a problem that only you have. That is the worst Christmas present I've ever had.
It isn't. How can it be? Why
because
is
you
it?
bought something for yourself.
No, you did that last year. You bought your girlfriend a Ferrari that only you were insured to drive. You did. You said, oh, I bought you this. And no one else could drive it.
That's chivalry.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, I think that's just been a total disaster, Conversation Street.
It was awful.
He bought us nothing.
Yeah.
I bought you a present. You say, shut up. Made you presents you don't like.
No.
Giovanni! Morning. I've got dinner tonight in Turin with the Contessa, but I fancy a bit of skiing. So, could you bring the car round? Can you make sure there are no ordinary people near it? I don't want a disease. Let's do this. It is remarkable that in this day and age I've been able to do this. Just a few hours ago, I was in the south of France, surrounded by people in their carefully designed topless swimsuits. And now I'm on an Alp doing skiing with the others of the jet set.
Are you seriously saying that point to point a car is faster than a helicopter?
Well, it's faster than your helicopter. You start yours with a cord. You do.
But a car is not faster than a helicopter.
OK, then a race, OK? You in your Moulin X Magimix versus me in that Chiron.
No, I can't. I'm not allowed to fly it at the moment.
Why not?
I broke my leg.
Oh, here we go again. God.
So there we are. Because of his astonishing selfishness, there will be no race between his kitchen appliance and the Chiron. We begin with Jaguar. Now, us three, we love Jags because they're so roguish. You can take a girl out for dinner if you have a Jag, and then she will pay. You can go and stay with people for the weekend, help yourself to all their belongings, and no one will mind because you have a Jag.
That is a Mark 10. That's a properly villainous Jag.
That is a proper Jag.
Jag, oh, yes.
Whatever you do, OK, do not tell him that.
No. Hammond, you idiot.
What?
Well, we're supposed to be upholding the reputation of Jaguar. You've brought an antique, you've brought an old piece of furniture.
It's the work, actually, of the man with the best name in the motor industry, and the second best name. Man with the best name is Lamborghini's chief test driver. He's called Max Venturi.
Yeah.
He's never had sex.
No. He's young and good-looking as well.
Yes, I know. Anyway, the guy at Aston, their technical officer, is called Max Swedge.
What?
Max Swedge.
Swedge.
No,
That's what I said.
It didn't. No, it's...
You sound like a broken dentist drill.
Just being racist.
I'm not.
You are. The man's Irish.
I'm not being racist.
You are, just because you wanted to be called Paddy O'Malley.
I didn't say you
He's
can't.
good. He's right. He's called Max
racist on television.
Anyway, we'll gloss over your...
I'm not. That is... Morning.
Wait. What's the tells?
Well, they had this sign that explained how environmentally damaging and expensive it is to wash them. So I've saved them the trouble.
That's good thinking.
It's kind.
That is.
Not that this is much of an issue for someone who's driving a Jag.
Yes, Constable. However, if I could draw your attention to the first page of my passport here. Her Britannic Majesty, that's the Queen, requests and requires, in the name of Her Majesty, all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer, that's me, to pass freely without let or hindrance.
$60.
He's still accelerating.
70. 75. 80 miles an hour. 90. Oh my God.
Having completed the 0 to 100 and back to 0 test, we got back on the road.
Well, all credit to James's XK8. He's come out of it unharmed, and the car pretty much, too.
If anything, the engine seems to have become even smoother, almost as if it's gained 50% more cylinders. But that's the thing about Jags, they just get better.
Thank you. Can I borrow your pen? Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I, meanwhile, headed for the restaurant.
It's definitely corked. Sorry.
The next morning, it was cold outside, so we needed warm clothes for our trip up the mountains. James therefore went shopping Jag style, and I didn't.
Ah, welcome to the hotel, sir. I could take your coat.
Thank you very much.
Had a pleasant trip?
Yes,
Lovely.
thank you.
Your hat?
Oh, thank you.
That's your bag as well, sir. Thank you very much. If you'd like to go and see my colleague on reception, that would be marvellous.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, that's my warm weather gear sorted out. I actually nicked that idea from Peter Sellers. I don't think he'll mind, because, of course, he had a Jag. And that's where they are, and that's good. Anyway, the thing is, that we got here, well, there, without a single problem, and with a very definite conclusion. Buy an XJR.
Whoa, no, hang on. The whole point of this exercise was to demonstrate Jaguar's reliability as a make.
Yes, but we have, and we've also...
What? Oh. Did you build all this?
Yes.
Can I just ask? What is the current speed record for amphibious vehicles?
39.1 miles an hour.
Well, isn't this rather overkill?
Listen, Usain Bolt can run at 27 miles an hour on land, OK? If he were waist deep in water, he'd have a top speed of about 1. Water's really sticky. You need loads of power.
I've got a word in my head for all this, and it's impractical.
I've got a word.
That's
It's
the one.
shut up.
Right.
We're going.
Is it loud?
Very. That's fired up. That's going to drive air into the big engine. We've got to get those in the green.
I hate it when you've got buttons.
I can't hear anything. Ignited. Oh. I'm going to give it some thrust now.
You are a witness dodo.
Look at it!
Ah, on the upside, there is an upside here. If it's capable of doing that, imagine how fast we're going to go on the lake.
You're a cretin.
Yes,
None of this is based on any scientific reasoning whatsoever. You say it's got a lot of power. How much thrust has it got? A lot. Look what it's done. It's blown 2 aeroplanes over and given us a massive bill